Are you thinking about moving to Seattle? Are you wondering, what am I gonna do on the weekends if I move there? Well, I've got one option for you we'll discuss today, and that is the Moore Theater in downtown Seattle. I had the opportunity to go down there last weekend to see my favorite comedian, and it was a blast. So I'm gonna tell you all about my experience there, give you a little history on the Moore, and I'm probably gonna start with a rant about the person that was sitting next to me. And if YouTube will let me, I'm gonna include a clip of this comedian's, one of her older performances from her YouTube channel, because I highly recommend it. She's hysterical, and we're gonna get to it right now. All right, we're gonna get to my rant in just a second. But if this is your first time to the channel and you wanna know anything and everything there is to know about living, working, playing, even eating here in Seattle, click that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications. My name's Rob. I'm a licensed real estate broker here in Seattle, and I talk to people just like you every single day looking to make a move to Seattle. Whether it's across town, across the country, or around the world, whether it's next week, next month, or even next year. Send me an email, shoot me a text, or give me a call. Or better yet, you know my favorite, set up that Zoom call with me, because I'd love to see your face and I'd love to hear what your needs are and how I can be of service to you in your search for housing here in the greater Seattle area. Whether it's your for now house or your forever house, I'm here to help you. Check out that information in the description below. And but for now, we're gonna get on to my rant. All right, so let me tell you about our experience at the Moore. So like I said before, it was our first time going, and I gotta say, it delivered like dominoes. It was what I would describe it as perfectly imperfect, and it was pure Seattle. So first of all, the building was built in 1907 during the Gilded Age, which, by the way, check that show out on HBO Max if you haven't already. 2 thumbs up, especially if you like Downton Abbey. Anyway, back to the Moore. So we get in, and again, it's perfectly imperfect. You know, it has seen its shares of renovations over the years and paint jobs and that type of stuff, but it hasn't been done in a while. And frankly, that's part of the charm and appeal of this venue. So we make our way up to the bar and got a couple of snacks, a couple of drinks. Then we made our way all the way upstairs, because again, I got the cheap seats. So we get up there, and I gotta say, so we're on the landing, and you can either go down toward the balcony or up, right? It is super, super steep, and if you suffer from vertigo, hold on. So we finally make our way down, and we got right up at the edge of the balcony, which offered us a little more legroom. And a thing about the seats there, don't expect comfort or those lounge chairs you find in the movie theaters. These are pretty narrow, and you know, I'm not a big guy, and my legs were touching either side of the armrests. So we're sitting there, getting ready for things to start, and people are filtering in around us. And by the time the show started, as luck would have it, nobody was sitting to the right of me. So I was like, score. It's like getting that empty row on an airplane, right? All to yourself. So the show starts, and probably about 5 minutes in, there's this commotion like right over here, right behind me, as a matter of fact. And, you know, I quickly realized people were late and people were drunk already. They had been pre-drinking before the show, which is fine. But it got louder and louder, and she was guzzling White Claws and then crumpling the cans and throwing them on the ground and talking really loud, all the things, right? So we get halfway through the first half of the show, and she taps me on the shoulder, and I was like, okay, what? And she's like, what? And she's like, do you mind if we sit next to you? I don't know why I said yes. I'm too nice, clearly, but I said sure. And the reason she offered me, which should have been my first red flag, was that the people around them up in their row already were annoyed with them for talking too much. So anyway, they climb over the seats, and now again, we're shoulder to shoulder, and I'm being pushed over into the seat next to me, and she's taken, you know, half of my seat, because she's got her arms flailing, I kept getting whacked in the head with a greasy ponytail, and I was pissed. Anyway, so we finally get to intermission after all this drama, and I'm getting more, I mean, it's just ruining my evening. And she looks at me because, again, remember, she's drunk. And she's like, oh my gosh, is the show over? And I'm like, well, it is for you. So she got up and left, and her friend clearly was a designated driver because she put her hand on my arm and said, "I'm so sorry." So they got up and left, and then we quickly realized everyone in our section hated them and was clearly annoyed. So we decided that we're gonna fold in and claim those seats should they come back. We were like, not letting them back in. And then if they cause a further disruption, we were gonna go talk to the usher. But thankfully, they didn't come back. Gosh knows where they went, but I don't really care because the second half of the show, Sarah Millican delivered an awesome, hilarious show. Again, in a few minutes, stay tuned. I'm gonna let you see a clip of one of her old shows from her YouTube channel that I'm gonna link to in the description. I highly recommend checking that out. So anyway, had a fantastic time and can't wait to go back to the Moor. Coming up this fall, and again, if you're watching this in 2023, in December, two of my other favorite comedians, Jimmy Carr, also from the UK, and Kathleen Madigan from here in the States, are gonna be performing at the Moor. And I can't wait to those tickets go on sale and highly recommend them. And I'm gonna link to them in the description as well. But back to the history a little bit about the Moor. It was, again, built during the Gilded Age in 1907. And over the years, again, it saw some ups and downs. It was once called the Moor Egyptian Theater because I guess back then it sounded a little more posh. But then it went back to just being the Moor. And, you know, in the 70s, The Who filmed Tommy there. Soundgarden filmed one of their videos there. You may have heard of a band called Pearl Jam. Part of the Even Flow video was filmed there. And then another one of my favorite comedians, Wanda Sykes, filmed her HBO special, This Is Not Normal, there not too long ago. So lots of stuff going on at the Moor. And again, if you're new to town, moving from across the state or across the country, these are the venues that are really, truly a Seattle experience, and I highly, highly recommend it. And I'm gonna link to the current lineup they have for the balance of the year in the description below, so you can check it out as well. And again, I've been to other venues in downtown Seattle, namely the Paramount, which is stunning and a very different experience than the Moor. But the Moor has its own charm, and I can't wait to go back. So with that being said, again, check out the links in the description for any more information you want to learn about the Moor Theater in downtown Seattle. But as I promised, here's a clip of my favorite comedian, Sarah Millican, from one of her old shows, which is posted on her YouTube channel, again in the links. And if you've liked what you've seen so far, click that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications. But without further ado,
anybody will admit to this, but I will raise my hand and say that I like to read on the toilet. Give us a cheer. Any men who like to read on the toilet? Yeah. Any women? Yeah. See, interesting, because one of my friends said to me, "You don't tell people you do that, do you?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I don't think you should." I said, "Why not?" She said, "I don't know, I don't think it's very ladylike." I said, "Have you seen who you're talking to?" I said, "And anyway, I'm not sure what you mean, because as far as I'm aware, there's nothing ladylike about doing a Picture the scene. I'm sitting down, my legs are apart, my elbows are resting on my knees. I might be sweating. If it's a hard one, I could have taken my top off. But to make up for all of that, I do it exactly the same, but to make it ladylike, I do it all in a bonnet.
All right, did I lie or what? She's hilarious. I can't get enough of her. I hope I'm not overselling it. Let me know in the comments what you think of her clip. And again, check her out on YouTube. And if she's coming to a town near you, I definitely recommend getting tickets. Again, she does not disappoint. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this one up. The Moor Theater is such a great place. If you're moving to town, to go check out. Always something to do down there. It's again, a very Seattle thing to do. But again, like I said before, I'm a real estate broker. And if I can help you find your for now home or your forever home, check my info out in the description below. Send me an email, shoot me a text, give me a call, or again, you know my favorite, set up that Zoom call. I'd love to see your face, hear your story, and understand how I can help you out. But that's all I got for now. Until next time, be safe and have a good one.